Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs MEC Zolile Williams, together with members of the executive, this is the executive mayor of Tambo and King Sabata Dalindyebo municipalities in the Eastern Cape, are today visiting a variety of centres which are housing flood victims in Mthatha. They're there to conduct an oversight visit following concerns about the allocation of relief aid and other issues. Newzroom Afrika's Liyema Vumisa is there and joins us now. Liyema, I think the big thing, given some of your reportage together with Sipa Kema over the last few weeks, is around connecting promises to action on the ground, making sure that the money that's been set aside gets where it's going. Tell us more about the visit and what's happened so far.
Absolutely, Iman, more especially when we talk to some of those residents and really the flood victims of Mthatha, telling us that as far as, lip service is concerned, there are hearing promises from the Eastern Cape government, but the action on the ground and really the implementation thereof of whatever promises that they make is, not seen by some of those victims. Well, today the embassy then of CoGTA alongside the executive mayors, that is Mesoli Ngondwana of the Tambo district municipality, alongside Mayor Nelani from the King Sabata Dalindyebo local municipalities, will today visit the various centers. I understand with a list that was given to me from the Premier's office. I know Dikolini is part of those centers that will be visited, alongside Tranco, Emasimini, Northcrest, and the other various centers across here in Mthatha. But what is noticeable in that schedule, Iman, is that in fact not all of those places rather are housing some of those flood victims, and in fact are community halls. Some of them are merely settlements. There are areas in Mthatha that do not have any community halls or do not have any temporal shelter that is provided for by the Eastern Cape government. And of course this then would come just on the backdrop of our reportage, as you rightfully mentioned there. I think it must have been 3 days from now or 2 days ago when we visited some of that settlement that is in Emasimini, where the flood victims there told us that in fact they have not seen any visibility of the Eastern Cape government together with its officials. Not even the mayor or anyone of the King Sabata Dalindyebo municipality has in fact visited them. They do not have electricity, they do not have water, and they don't even have a shelter. They are sleeping in a tavern, or rather in a bottle store, dare I say, in that vicinity there. Now, what we understand then, as far as some of that communication from the government of Eastern Cape, is that as far as the funds are concerned, they're going to be reprioritizing some of the budget that is currently available for different projects that were underway in both the municipalities. They're going to redirect those funds then so that they can prioritize these flood victims. Today, the embassy of CoGTA in the province, alongside those other officials, are going to visit those areas to really monitor and do oversight as far as the allocation of the relief aid is concerned. We understand that there are concerns from those flood victims that the officials are allegedly, taking some of those relief aid and giving it to their family members instead of actually going to the rightful and really the deserving beneficiaries. Another thing that we understand is that the flood victims and the residents are also mentioning to us that what they know or rather suspect is happening behind closed doors is that once donations come through, not all of that donations is declared in the municipalities, and thereafter not all of those donations then in fact go to those deserving people. So the MSC, I suppose, is going to really monitor that and also have conversations to really get to the crux of the matter and really what seems to be the problem as far as those flood victims are concerned. Another point of contention that we understand has arose as a result of these 3 weeks since that fateful day of the 10th of June is that the flood victims want a decent living. They are not entirely comfortable and satisfied as far as where they are staying in those community halls. There's not enough space, there are not enough blankets, and there's really no comfortable and decent living. thereafter, then that is the reason why they want, another place. The local municipalities here have since moved those people to some of the B&Bs in town, but there is no control whatsoever, and really there is no monitoring that is happening as far as some of the essentials then that those flood victims are going to be requiring. So the essence of the minister, or rather the MEC's visit here, is to really get to the crux of the matter as far as those problems are concerned, iron out everything that is happening with the councillors, with those flood victims, together with the officials, and then thereafter try to find and chart a map forward, a way forward rather, as far as how they are going to continue with helping those flood victims, especially because that 30 days is going to lapse.